Hello everyone. Today I will tell you a story. The story is titled, A Long Day Made Lighter by Boy. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you appreciate me. You can skip this if you don't and oppose. Like this video. Thank you very much. The story begins as follows. The day began the way many days do, too fast, too loud, and already asking for more than I felt ready to give. The alarm rang before my dream had finished. My phone buzzed with messages that could wait, but somehow felt urgent. The sky outside was pale gray, undecided about being kind or gloomy. I sat up in bed, already tired, already thinking about deadlines, errands, and conversations I didn't feel like having. And then there was Boy. Boy was already awake, of course. He always was. His tail thumped softly against the floor the moment he sensed movement. When I turned my head, I saw his face right next to the bed, eyes warm, curious, and completely free of the worries that filled my head. His ears perked up as if to say, "You're awake. That means today exists now." I sighed, not in annoyance, but in surrender. Boy stretched his front paws forward and bowed low, a slow, exaggerated stretch that looked like a greeting made just for me. When I didn't move fast enough, he nudged my hand gently with his nose. Not demanding, just reminding. Okay, I whispered, smiling despite myself. In the kitchen, the kettle boiled while Boy sat patiently near his bowl, tail swaying like a quiet metronome. He never rushed me. He never complained. He simply trusted that things would come when they came. I wished, briefly, that I could live with that kind of faith. As I tied my shoes, Boy brought me one of his toys, a worn-out stuffed animal missing one ear. He dropped it at my feet and looked up proudly. I laughed. Not now, buddy. Later. He didn't seem disappointed. He just wagged his tail once, satisfied that he had offered something he loved. That was how the day started. Rushed thoughts in my head, steady warmth at my feet, and a dog who believed, without question, that being together was already enough. By midday, the world had done what it often does. It piled itself on. Meetings blurred into each other. Tasks multiplied instead of shrinking. Every small problem felt heavier than it should have. I answered questions, smiled when expected, nodded when required, all while feeling like my energy was leaking out through invisible cracks. Time moved strangely. Too slow when I wanted it to hurry. Too fast when I needed a pause. Through it all, Boy waited. He waited at home, curled up in his favorite corner, where the sunlight touched the floor in the afternoon. Sometimes he slept. Sometimes he listened, to distant sounds, to the quiet breathing of the house, to nothing at all. He didn't know what deadlines were. He didn't care how productive the day was. His job was simple: be there when I came back. When I finally opened the door in the evening, exhaustion followed me inside like an unwanted guest. Before I could even take off my shoes, Boy was there. Not jumping, not barking wildly, just wagging his tail, body wiggling with happiness that had been saved all day. His eyes met mine, full of relief and joy, as if he had been holding his breath since morning. "You waited," I said softly. Of course he had. We went for a walk as the sun began to lower itself, painting the street in soft gold. Boy walked beside me, occasionally stopping to sniff something fascinating: a leaf, a fence, a story left behind by another dog. Each pause slowed me down, pulled me gently out of my thoughts and back into the world. I noticed things I had ignored earlier. The way the air cooled just slightly, the sound of distant laughter, the rhythm of my own steps. Boy wasn't trying to fix my day. He wasn't trying to cheer me up. He was simply walking with me. And somehow, that was enough to make the day feel less heavy. Back at home, the lights were warm, the noise low. I sat on the floor, leaning against the couch, and Boy came over without hesitation. He circled once, then settled beside me, pressing his body lightly against my leg. No words, no expectations, just contact. I ran my hand through his fur, slow and absent-minded at first, then more deliberately. His breathing was steady, calm. With each breath he took, something in me seemed to slow down too. The day replayed itself in my mind. The mistakes, the tension, the moments I wished I had handled better. But sitting there with Boy, those thoughts lost their sharp edges. They became stories instead of burdens. Boy lifted his head and looked at me, his eyes half closed, trusting and open. He didn't need me to be successful today. He didn't care if I had failed or succeeded. To him, I was simply here, and that was everything. Later, as the night grew quiet, Boy fell asleep at my feet. I watched him for a moment, feeling something settle inside my chest. The day had been long, but it ended gently, because Boy was there. Boy's presence at the end of a long day reminds us of something deeply important in modern life. We don't always need solutions. We need connection. In a world that constantly pushes us to move faster, achieve more, and measure our worth by productivity, animals quietly offer a different lesson. They show us the value of simply being. From Boy, we learn patience. He waits without resentment and welcomes without conditions. We learn presence, how to slow down, notice small moments, and let go of what we cannot change. Most importantly, we learn unconditional companionship. Animals do not judge our bad days, they soften them. To apply this lesson to daily life, we can start small. Take time to truly be with those around us, human or animal, without distractions. Allow moments of quiet. Respect the bond we share with animals by offering them care, kindness, and attention, not just as pets, but as companions. When we treat animals with empathy, we become more empathetic ourselves. And when we let their simple love guide us, even the longest days can end lighter, warmer, and more human.